Hi, Matt with etrailer. Today we're going to be talking about the JR USB outlet. Now this would be great if you're out and about with your trailer and you're doing some type of camping and you just need a little bit extra power for either charging up your phone so you can still make contact with people outside, or if you have any other type of smaller accessories you want to charge that up too, because this is going to have 2 ports. You'll be able to do that with this. And we can take a closer look at it. Now right now I'm just holding this because we're shooting a few of these today and we're really just doing this for demonstration purposes. So typically this would sit flush with your wall. As you can see right here, this is flush against this bracket we're using at the moment. That's the nice thing about this. It's going to give you that more OEM finish, or something that just looks like it came with your trailer. And that's something I do like about it. Now if you're looking for something that's also going to give you a little bit more water resistance, because maybe when you're out camping, you have a lot of water getting in here, a lot of moisture in your trailer because you constantly leave this door open, then I'd actually recommend another variation of this. There's actually one by Diamond, and they actually have a little cap cover that covers the top of this. That's just an extra step, but if you really just keep this closed for the most part, you probably won't need that. And since this is going to have more of that OEM finish, you will have to wire this to your trailer, and really that process isn't too bad. It's just going to take these 2 wires and connect them to some 12-volt wires already installed on your vehicle or your trailer. Really to do that, all you need is something to strip them with, something to crimp your butt connectors with, whether you're using heat shrink ones or other types. And if you are using heat shrink ones, you just need some type of heating source to get them into place. Now if that's not really your style, you don't really find yourself often using USB ports, maybe you like using more of a 12-volt plug if you already have one installed, then I'd recommend something more like this. This is going to be something from Optimate, and it's just going to be an adapter that you just plug into your 12-volt, and it's going to have 2 USB ports on it. And it's going to be something real quick and easy to use if you still need access to that 12-volt. Now if you're someone who is using USBs pretty often, or maybe you don't already own a 12-volt plug-in, then this is probably not going to be the way you want to go. Now if you are curious about this installation, just stay tuned. We'll walk you through the process. To begin the installation process, I actually like to kind of get this bracket. You're going to have whatever type of bracket is with your vehicle. You just will need some type of bracket that this is going to fit into. It should have a similar hole, just a little round circle that this wire will go and push through, just like that. Then you're going to have a backing piece to it. This is just going to act as kind of like a nut. And if we look at the back of this, you're going to see there's some threads on here. And the only threads on this piece are going to be kind of where these tabs are. The rest of it's pretty smooth. So what I'm going to do is line up those threads with this empty section here, just like that. Push it on as much as possible, and then we're going to want to turn it some. There's about a 1/4 turns to do. The main thing you're trying to get done is just have this tab kind of lined up with some other threads. You can see how that tab was kind of lined up with that flat section there that was smooth. Now it's over here. Really a 1/4 turn should be fine for you, just as long as it's grabbing on. And now this part is pretty much set, and we can actually wire it into our trailer. Now to do that part, you're going to need a few things. So we're going to have some butt connectors, and we specifically have heat shrink ones. You don't need heat shrink ones, just some form of butt connector. And then we're going to have something to strip the wires with. And then we're going to have this crimp here. Also, if you have some wirings and you're just replacing it with a new piece of hardware here, or a new USB port, you're probably going to have some old tabs on there. Just snip those off and you can get started. But what I'm going to do now is just kind of get that excess, or that kind of tubing, off the wires here, just like that. Also, when you're doing this, you want to make sure your battery is turned off. You don't want to accidentally hurt yourself. And with these off, we can actually start making those connections. You also want to make sure that you grab the right size, that wire is going to fit through that tube there, right into the middle section. There you go. That feels like a pretty good hold. And then just going to crimp that down. I like to do this now because it's going to be a little bit more difficult if you try to do them at the same time. There you go. Then what you want to do here is also make sure which one's your power and which one's your ground. So we already know which one is which on this. The red one's going to be our power, the black one's going to be our ground. When it comes to your trailer wiring, that can be different all the time. So what I recommend doing is finding some type of tester, testing which one's the ground, which one's the power, or you can just follow these lines and see which part of the battery this connects to. You can find it out that way. I'll just crimp this one down too. If you're finding that this isn't really sticking in there very well, you might just have to fold it over a little bit. So it's a little bit thicker, because these are some pretty thin wires. And once we secure this down, I'll kind of do the other side again. Make sure we have a good hold. Now we'll kind of pull on it too. Make sure that connection is pretty good, not falling out. And we're going to find some sort of heat source to heat up the very ends of this so it can really shrink to the edges so we get a better hold. And then you're just going to repeat that same process for your ground wire, or vice versa, depending on which one you started with. And now I'm just going to give it power. Now that we have power, I can actually test this out. I like to test it out before I mount it back into place, just in case something's not properly connected. Let's see if we can get a connection here or not. And there we go. We got a little bit of power right there. So yeah, it looks like we're charging now, and everything's working the way it should be. And what I can do from this point is just mount this back into place. And really that's just going to depend on how your mount works and what kind of trailer you have. And once you get this mounted into place and you're ready to go, that'll pretty much conclude our look at the installation and some of the features of the JR USB outlet. And here at etrailer, we're definitely curious about what you're using this with, whether you're plugging your phone in or any other type of outdoorsy equipment. We'd still like to know. But again, I'm Matt. Thanks for watching.